So how do you say the word like in Irish, and why are the three major dialects so unalike when it comes to this specific word? Well, the standard spelling of the word for like in Irish is this. And from that spelling, you might expect an Ulster pronunciation like cosúil, and a Connacht and Munster pronunciation like cosúil. And that Connacht pronunciation is exactly what you find. That spelling is very suitable to their pronunciation. But with Ulster speakers, you will find often the pronunciation cosúil, and in some Munster speakers, you can still find the pronunciation cosúil. So what exactly is going on here? Well, this is a big example of the standard spelling only being based off of one dialect. In this case, the Connacht pronunciation was used as the standard spelling, and that's why their pronunciation of this word makes a lot of sense. But the other two seem to be making up sounds out of nowhere. Well, if we look back to the old spelling, the word in question, like, used to be spelled like this. And now our answers reveal themselves. In Ulster Irish, if a word used to have two syllables, they will usually keep those two syllables. Take the word, how most people would say it today, tean, used to be pronounced with two syllables, tean, and in many Ulster Irish speakers today, you will still find two syllables, tean. With Connacht Irish, the pronunciation of this word again isn't surprising. They like to shorten words wherever they can. Take, for example, the word, how many people would say it, bóthar, two syllables. In Connacht, it's very, very common to find the pronunciation bór. And in Munster Irish, again, we're not surprised. When there is a broad MH, other dialects like to pronounce it as wa. Take, for example, mo wahi or mo wahid. In Munster, that will usually be pronounced as a w, mo wahid. And as you can see, there is an MH in the old spelling of the word for like, and that is kept in some Munster Irish speakers today, cosúil. The word itself comes from the old Irish words cum and Samuel. The cum part basically meant with, like the Latin co, and that can still be found in the words ho, meaning as, or colúder, or corle, and the Samuel part basically meant likeness or being akin to. The use of the word itself in a sentence, usually you will say something like, if you wanted to say Mary is like the donkey, you will say is cosúil leis an asal I maide. So the word cosúil or cosúil usually comes beside the word le. So you don't just say she is like the donkey, you say she is similar to the donkey, and we use the word le, which means with. So is cosúil le Engels og in the song Mar, and that's how you use the word. Another unusual thing to add before I forget, in the pronunciation of this word, in the dialect of Cape Clear, I heard in a Irish linguistics talk last week, they don't say cosúil or cosúil, they say cosúir. So what's going on there? Well, it's very simple. In Irish, we have loads and loads of words that end with ACH, UHIL, or MHAR, and all of these endings are basically used to describe words. Like in English, the way we have Y at the end of a word, or ish, like smelly or bluish, that turns a word like smell into a describing word. These endings do the exact same thing. turning broad into broadóil, or braun into braunach, or bio into biover. They're all used to create adjectives. And sometimes in the language they can basically get mixed up. So in modern Irish you can find examples of the word pain, pain, becoming three different words, meaning painful. Pianach, pianoil, or even the most common pianhor. So even though the word cosúil came from co Samuel, so it didn't have anything to do with the ul ending at all, it just happened to end up with that historically. The speakers of Irish on Cape Clear thought that it was like pianoil or brodoil, that it was a regular word ending with ul, instead of breaking it up as cosúil, how it used to be. They now broke it up as cosúil. And because they would have used, let's say, pianoil and pianwar interchangeably, they started to use cosúil and cosfor interchangeably, and cosfor basically was the champion left over at the end. So those are the four major ways that you will find the word for like pronounced: cosúil, cosúil, cosfor, and cosfuil. It's very hard to keep track of. Sinead, slán